Hi friends, it's Peggy Noe from prettypapercards.com here with another video tutorial for you. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today we're going to make a mini paper pumpkin gift box and card. And this is what they look like. I'm going to show you how to make the box and then tell you how to make the card because it virtually is made the same way. So let's get started. Now we are going to use today the Joy dies from the Stampin' Up! August to December 2020 mini catalog. And if you have the catalog, they're on page 18 and they're called shadow dies. And I'm not using this stamp set today, but just the dies, and this is what they look like. They create these beautiful shadows around words. And this is what the dies look like, in person. I've got them on my magnet board. I have the Joy ones removed so that we can use those today, but I'm going to show you how they work. So the first thing we're going to do is start with one of the Stampin' Up! Mini paper pumpkin boxes. Now these boxes are adorable. They're perfect for gift giving because they're kind of long. I'll show you. They could fit definitely a pair of socks or quite a few chocolates. And they have two sides. They have the shiny side and, for lack of a better word, the dull side. In other words, there's no coating on them. But because we're going to adhere some designer series paper to them, I'm going to put the shiny side on the inside of our box. And these boxes come pre-scored, so all you need to do is fold all the scored lines. And right in here are two little holes that you need to poke out the little pieces of cardboard because we're going to put the tabs in them. These tabs right here are going to go in there. So we're going to fold all of those score lines, and then we can assemble our box. It's kind of nice not to have them to make the box from scratch, right? The box is already made for you, and we just put it together. So to get started, we're going to put the bottom together, and to do that, oops, there's one little piece that didn't pop out. Let me get it. Come on out. Okay, there we go. So we put these two tabs in. I might press them in just a little more. And then the bottom sides of the box come, let me do this. They come up and over like this. I hope you can see that. And this is what's going to form the box. And those tabs fit perfectly into those little holes that we punched out. And so we'll do that again over here on this side and press the little tabs down. And you can see from the bottom how the tabs came through the holes, and that holds the box together. Now for the top, the way the top closes is you put these sides in, and then these little tabs here fit in the little slits right on the sides there so that your box is nice and secure. Let's get this one in. Isn't that nice? That's a great size, isn't it? It could hold quite a bit of fun goodies for the holidays. So the designer series paper we're going to use today is called Heartwarming Hugs. It's beautiful red and green, lots of fun, a little bit modern patterns here. Let me bring it over so you can see it. And we're going to use this one green paper, which is a pretty green kind of diamond on one side and a green gingham on the other side, which I really like. And we're going to adhere our paper with some glue, because that way we can move it around a little bit once we get it on the box to get a very good placement, because we want it to be really centered on the top. So we're going to put this on the top. Nothing is going to go on the bottom. Just this piece on the top of the box. Now this measures 5.5 inches by 3 3/4 inches on the top, like that. And then we're going to do the sides and the sides front and back and left and right. And for these sides, we're going to put the contrasting side just to give our package a little bit of interest. And this piece, if you'd like to know for your measurements, this is 5.5 by 1 inch. All of the side pieces are 1 inch wide. And we just press that on. So that's the front. And let's now do the back. I mean, you definitely could leave the box plain with the shiny side up because it really is very pretty, and just put some gorgeous ribbons on it. But I kind of like decorating it. I don't know about you. And you can use any type of paper. We have right now a beautiful snowflake one that might be gorgeous. Maybe I'll make one of those next. I might, because it has a little pretty white in it too, so it would look real pretty with blues. All right, here is the left and the right sides, and these are 1 inch by 3 5/8 inches. We'll just get those on. And then our box is going to be very nicely decorated. And then all we have to do is put a ribbon in the topper. That's going to be the fun part. Okay. I love gingham. It's so pretty, and especially for the holidays, it feels traditional. But with this little mini gingham, it looks a bit modern, doesn't it? Isn't that kind of cute? I like that. Okay, now we're ready to do our die cutting. And one thing I want to show you today is adhesive sheets. I don't know if you have used adhesive sheets before, but we're going to use adhesive sheets for this very small word, that little small joy, because we're going to be cutting out the red, the white, the red layers, and this label background. So the very thin top joy layer, it's a little bit hard to stick on because it's so very thin. So we're going to use some of our adhesive sheets, and what they do is they create a sticker from your die cut. And I'll show you how we're going to adhere that. Now, I am not a pro at these, so some of you may know more than I do. But I do get it done. So I'm peeling. I've cut the size of my adhesive sheet to match the size of my cardstock. Be sure you can see it there. And I'm going to peel off the top portion, that label part. And then I'm going to lay my cardstock down right over that adhesive sheet. It should fit pretty close to right on. Okay, there we go. And then what we'll do is we will cut the joy out and then remove the back, and it will be a sticker. Now I'm going to get my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, because we are going to put all of our dies down at one time and run them through the die cutting machine all at once. So this is our joy die that we already looked at. Make sure you can see that there, that we already prepared. Now we have another joy to put in there. We're alternating real red cardstock with Whisper white cardstock, and this is the new magnetic plate for the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, so that's why it's a little bit hard to move about once you get it placed, which is a good thing. And this is going to be our label die that sits behind. This is from the die set called Hippos and Friends, and it has, I know it does have hippos in there, but it also has some fabulous labels. And so there's our other joy die. Okay, and we're going to put our top plate on and just run it through the machine. This new Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine is really fabulous. Everybody that uses it absolutely loves it. And another nice thing about it is that it does have the plates labeled. The magnetic plate is 5, and the other plates are 1, 2, and 3. So if you're not using the magnetic plates, you'll use 1, 2, two threes, one clear, another clear. But in this case, we inserted the magnetic plate, which is a number 5. So let's take all of these off here, slide them off, and we'll see what we have. And these shadow dies are so much fun. Okay, so here's our first one, the backing of Joy. Here is the next Joy that fits on top of that. Isn't that just neat? Like that? And here is our Hippo and Friends label die that is going to go underneath. And now we're ready for our sticker, right? Our little thin one. So let's take the, it's going to sit on this one, that Joy. And here's our little sticker. We're just going to pull it out. And it looks like the adhesive is coming right off. I mean, the liner sheet, so it's all sticky, ready to go. And we're just going to set it down, start in one place and get it just right, and then I hold it, and it kind of falls correctly. You might want to adjust it just a tiny bit. Let's see. Well, yeah, it's sticky. I think I'm not pressing hard enough. Let's do it again. I'm being very gentle, and I think it needs just a little bit more pressure. There we go. Isn't that neat? Doesn't that look fabulous? And then you put it on top of this one, and then we put it on top of the label backing. I love these. Now let's just glue everything else together. This one we're going to glue onto the real red piece. And when you're able to put all of these through the Big Shot, or no, the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, your die cutting machine, at one time, it really makes a difference in the timing for you. If you were going to make a whole bunch of these for Christmas cards, holiday cards, and you only have to run it through once, that's a big help, very big help. Okay, so we're just gonna, now I'm being delicate again. And I've got some glue sticking out, and whenever I have the glue sticking out, I use my Take Your Pick tool from Stampin' Up, and I use this pointy end, and I just go around and kind of pull that glue up and press it back in where it belongs. And then of course we know it dries clear. I really was just getting a little excited, and I think I put a little bit too much glue on there, but we can take care of that. There we go. All right, and now we're ready to adhere this piece, the Joy piece, onto our label. I'm going to just tuck that in a little. There we go. And we're going to use some Stampin' Dimensionals to do that, to raise it up. One, just takes a couple to raise that up on the label. And I just love the way this turns out. Get the little backs off. I know we're going to use these Joy dies a lot. The other words are peace and bright, and I think we're going to have a lot of fun with those words. So here we go. Just press that on, and there you go. Isn't that just cute? I love that. Now we're going to go back to our box, and we have some ribbon, some pretty red satin ribbon. Goodness, I don't even know if I have enough here. I think I might switch, and I might use instead, I've got some braided linen trim. That's going to look good too, because I'm almost out of my other satin ribbon. So let's use this one instead. And all we're going to do, for the sample, I had tied a bow, but I thought we might try tying a knot this time just to see how that looks, because it's actually easier. So we'll just pull this around, tie our little knot, and I'll show you how the recipient the person who receives your box is going to be able to open the package with ease and pretty much keep it intact. So there's our knot. We'll trim the edges. There we go. And now we're going to put our joy right on top of that, and what we're going to do is put a dimensional above and below where the braided linen trim is. And that way, when the person opens the package, they can just slide that, undo the knot, slide the ribbon out, and it doesn't ruin the, you know, the, what I call this little topper. Isn't that cute? That is your little box, and then you can easily make a coordinating card. I used the same paper. I just cut this piece in half. This is 5 1/4. I cut it in half and reversed one side so you can see both sides of the pretty patterns. Did the same kind of topper and then just ran a piece of the red ribbon back and forth in there. So I think that's a lovely little duo for your Christmas packaging and Christmas card making. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I would love it if you would subscribe to my YouTube page. It's called Pretty Paper Cards. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment or email me at Peggy@prettypapercards.com. Thank you. Bye-bye.